I was unhappy with the way these boards came together. They're a little wavy across the width of the slab. And so I'm gonna fix that, I think. So what I did is I went out and I bought 2 sheets of 3/4 melamine so that I could create this long 10-foot plane on my workbench. And I'm gonna move the slab back over onto this, and then I'm gonna use a router sled to flatten off one side of the slab, and then I'm gonna turn it over and do the other side and hopefully get a perfectly flat table. And I'm gonna try to do that without removing too much material and reducing the thickness to an unappealing depth. Anyway, I hope I don't fuck the table up, but I'm gonna give it a try. Stick with me.
So here I go, moving this heavy slab onto this plane that I've just built, all by myself, because I don't have any help. But I did it, which is great. This is the rail and sled setup that I built for this project. You can get those rails on Amazon. After you search and find those, it will surely recommend the corresponding bearings for those rails that you'll then use to attach to the sled. And build a sled that looks like this one, because it'll work the best for you. And then make sure that you attach a really janky push stick. That's very important. So here I went through and I measured from the bottom of the rails of that sled setup to the slab and marked it off about every foot across the width of the slab. And this shows me where the table is high and where it is low against the plane, which allows me to insert shims exactly where they need to be to raise up and lower the table so that I take off as little material as possible to get this thing flat on the bottom. And that's so that I can preserve as much depth of the table as possible. So after you get it all shimmed up and locked in place, you just run the router back and forth hundreds of times until you flatten this off. And you want to take little cuts when you do this. Get the best outcome when you take little cuts with a router. And then you also want to make sure that you're pushing against the rotation of the bit that's spinning. If you push with the rotation of the bit, it's going to grab and make a bunch of weird cuts and do strange things that you don't want to happen. So after you've taken a full pass, probably a couple of passes, you end up with a super flat slab. So then I can later turn this thing over and do the same thing to the other side, and I'll have a perfectly flat table free of waviness. Thanks for watching.